Nick Hartman, where I, an amateur artist, will share with you some of my art and the process that goes along with it. Now, this is my first video and it probably should have a little bit more of an introduction, but we need to keep things a little bit short, so let's go ahead and get right on into it. Okay, so right here to start, we just have your fan brush and titanium white, and we're just spinning it around on the canvas. No real particular order. We're just kind of getting some color on, getting that. God, I'm drawing a blank. That's the words I want, but you definitely don't want to just put it all on there, completely cover it. You want to leave dark spots. Next, we got our 2-inch brush, and we just want to blend it out a little bit. And we're just doing your basics, upstrokes, side to side. Just blending out, fading it into the background. This is going to be our extreme-most background, so we don't want a lot of detail or anything to that effect too much. And then once we get to the point that I felt satisfied, I would just kind of go over it side to side, really, really light to pull out brush strokes, which is what I'm doing here. And then just straight black paint, nothing special to it, just straight black. I kind of would have preferred to have kept doing it in this style. I wanted the trees for the background. I felt they would have blended out a little bit better opposed to what I did here shortly, right there, where I'm just pulling straight down. Or if I did do it that way, pulling straight down like that, had just a touch less paint, because it made it a little harder to fade into the background a little bit. Either way, I still got a pretty good effect that I felt happy with. Again, here we're just blending it into the background a little bit. We want these to be like they're deep in the forest, hidden in shade. Now again, we have the fan brush with just titanium white, nothing else. And as we apply it to the canvas, it'll begin to mix with the phthalo blue that we already have on there. And right here, we're just going to pull to the left and down just a touch to get a little bit of a waterfall action, and then we push up a little bit with the brush to get a splash effect, I guess to say. And all we're doing to get the water in here is just scrubbing side to side, left and right, just kind of scrubbing it on there. You don't have to be gentle or anything like that. And you just kind of go. Yeah, I kind of prefer to go left and right as I'm coming forward. That way the stream isn't just straight down. Got a zigzag pattern to it. And right here I'm just kind of going back again with the white and pushing upwards to create a splash effect. And now we just mix sap green with cadmium yellow and more yellow, because I want a brighter green. I don't want the dark sap green. And we just mix it up real good. You want to flip it, push it down, flip it, spin it around, get it nice. Now, as for applying, you just want to basically just kind of tap it along real nice and soft. pressing downwards. You don't want to create any, you don't want to slide as you push down. You just want to press the bristles, get them to kind of bend a little bit, but you don't want to slide. We just kind of keep doing this. You want to, as you do your layers, you want to leave that little black gap. That's your nice shadow that separates the two, so it's not just one glob of green coming forward. It essentially provides some depth as well as texture, as though the ground rolls along as you go. There are little dips and crevices and such. Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. It kind of drags on for a little while. Side note though, if you are curious about what some of the paints I'm using, as well as brushes, as far as paint goes, primarily, yes, I do use the Bobross paints, but that's also because I'm painting in the Bobross style, and his paints are made for that style. And I guess I shouldn't really say it's Bobross style, it's not explicit to him, and he didn't make it like I mentioned earlier. But for the wet on wet style, you definitely need thick paint. You can't start off with some of your basic oil paints like are very, very creamy. These paints start out very firm, and it's very important because the firmer it is, the easier you can get thinner paint to stick to it as you progress forward with new layers. If it's too thin or creamy-like, it'll just essentially instantly start to mix, and you won't be able to layer quite on top of it the same. If you are going to use regular paints that are that thin, you'd have to essentially do layer, let it dry for a day or so to firm up, and then proceed to kind of do your next layer. But it would still be wet enough to where you could do some blending if you needed to or you wanted to. And then paintbrushes. I just bought the Bobross set because it had everything I wanted / needed to paint in that style. And however, I do still use some other paints as well. We'll use some Winsor Newton paints in more of the foreground, where it's not as important to have very thick paint. Right here, we did pull in some of the yellow ochre straight into our already dirty green brush, just to kind of give a nice little extra touch to the grass. That way it's just not all green. Just gives a nice different feel, as well as depth, pretty much. What else are we doing here? We just have Van Dyke Brown on the knife, and we're just putting in the shadow portion for our shoreline. Nothing special, just kind of lightly pushing on there, sliding as long as I let it go. And just kind of have to use your own personal judgment as you do this part. You can even do without, technically. I even do leave some of the shoreline out later on for part of it, just to show essentially you can go both ways, or you can go one way or the other, have shoreline, don't have shoreline, some shoreline, have no shores, some shoreline. It really doesn't matter, and nature doesn't grow uniformly. It happens. You have a grassy shoreline here where the grass goes all the way to the water in one spot. Grass stops further back and you have a dirt shoreline. A different spot. Now I'm just rambling, not making sense, but we're gonna leave it. Let's progress forward though. Keep moving on. Now we got a mixture of Van Dyke Brown and titanium white, and I'm just going right back over the shoreline to get some color in there. Lydia, I need you to be quiet, puppy. We're gonna leave that in there too, because Lydia is not a baby, and she is a moody little puppy. Anyways, now we're just, like I said, putting some texture and color on now the shoreline. Gives a little better look to it. And we're just kind of playing with the shadow we already have on there. You can even trail some of it out into the water. As the water's movement, and it carried up some of the dirt or mud and carrying it off away. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm gonna cut some of this out and just to kind of shorten the video a little bit. I don't want an insanely long video. We'll see. Check back in with you in a little bit. pushing the shoreline down and back at the same time. When you do a shoreline like that, you do want to come back over and put some of the grass on top of it. That way it's not floating there on top of the grass. As well as if you're coming up, we almost had a catastrophic mistake or error with the stand with the easel. Right here. If I pushed forward and if I didn't catch it just the way I did, the whole thing would have fallen or we would have smeared the whole top half. But luckily I caught it just right and quick enough, set it back in, was able to readjust the canvas and keep moving on. But from there on out, I was definitely holding and making sure it didn't move, so you'll kind of see my arm throughout, kind of behind the easel, just holding things in. We're just going back over, pushing the shoreline down by putting the grass on top of it. This part's pretty fun. We're just putting some trees in the foreground. We just have Van Dyke Brown and Midnight Black mixed together on the fan brush. Got it loaded up real nice, and we're just pulling straight down. And you don't have to go straight down. You can make the line all crooked and such. Trees don't always go straight up, you know. But either way, that's I kept mine mostly straight here. Got a little bendy with that one there. But either way, honestly, it's pretty simple so far. But once we get the trees put in, or well, the basic shape put in, we're gonna go back over. Brown and titanium white mixed over here. We're just kind of going back over, putting nice detail on the tree, getting some bark on there, making it look nice. And you just essentially go up. As well as this point too, you can make your tree trunk larger. so choose. All up to you. Finishing up this last tree here, I did cut out the next step, essentially, basically because it ended up being useless. I didn't really need to do that step, but basically all it did was put some branches on the trees, and I ended up covering all the branches up anyway, so I didn't even need to put them in there, really. So I just went ahead and kind of trimmed that section out and then moved on to the next part, just to also kind of keep time down a little bit. As you can see, the branches are there now, and I'm going over them with the filbert brush and I think there was a little bit of Van Dyke Brown in with the black, just to kind of give me some more paint. I was running out of the black that I had on the palette, and I just needed some more. It doesn't matter that the Van Dyke Brown is in there. It's not really changing the hue, and it's not going to affect the effect that I'm going for. So anyway, we're just putting in shadow for our trees and getting the basic layout and shape for our leaves. And right here, I kind of felt like I went a little too far out to the left, so I came back in on the left side and went right to kind of even it out a little bit and make it look a little bit more natural. Like I said, not great at editing, so awkward cuts all over the place. Also here I struggled a little bit, so we left it in just to kind of, well, I guess I didn't show how much I really struggled, but I needed to make the green a little bit thinner, as well as I wanted a slightly different shade than what I had for the grass. And so anyways, we needed it thinner so it would stick, and so I added paint thinner, what you should do, but I added too much. So I had to try and re-thicken it up, and I kind of cut some of that out, I guess, too, but I'll admit I had issues. Plenty of issues. I'm an amateur, that's the point. So anyway, now we're just kind of adding our highlight color, getting it in, making the trees actually look like trees. Right here though, I did add just a little bit of yellow ochre again. That way it would make it a lot easier to separate the two trees there, as well as to kind of just add some color variation. That way it's not so bland of just green. But again, also primarily that way you could separate those two trees, tell that they're definitely one's in front of the other. And right there you can kind of see why it is important to have that shadow color down first, where I went off there to the left where there wasn't shadow color. It just doesn't look as good. It adds the depth value. It's drives like that there's actual structure by having that dark color behind it. Not only does it help it show, but again, adds some structure to it. And again, added yellow ochre, so that way we can help easily separate the two trees. The paint got a little too thin on me, and I hit the canvas a little too hard, but still looks okay. And now we're just kind of trying to push the trees down into the ground. I was trying to do a little different effect there by having some bushes, but it didn't really work out for me, so I just changed it right back to regular old grass. And now it looks like the tree's actually in the ground. Amazing, right? Not really. Also though, as this is kind of wrapping up, I'll go ahead and thank you for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed the painting. If you do, please go ahead and feel free to click the like button, as well as if you happen to want to buy the painting, you certainly can. It will be available on eBay with a link in the description below. Thank you.